telling me how to have a safe live YouTube. I mean, is it really that complicated? Spinach ball. This is what I eat when I try to be healthy. Good for some reason. What's up? What's up, people? Costco. Spinach. Okay.
I love this menu. Next up, something sweet and nutty. Something that my mom would say about me.
Trevor, Izzy, and Emma. No one puts more love into logistics than these three.
So,
We need them.
turn these commercials down. Hold on.
Work with principals so we can help you with a plan that's right for your team. Not our expertise.
So the spinach ball is simple. It's just you grab some spinach, grab some spinach, roll it up in a ball, your hand, and you run it under cold water. And so you run the spinach ball under cold water, so now you're kind of hydrating, and then you're, cleaning the spinach off. You don't do anything else in that, and you just kind of form it in a ball. Okay. It's actually very healthy spinach. Good for you. I like to make, omelets with spinach. So I use spinach for other things, but that's kind of just a little on-the-go snack. But be aware that you probably have to brush your teeth after. Spinach on your teeth. Today's the kind of day where I just don't feel like doing anything. I went for a jog, and I think that's about as far as the day's gonna go. It's just that jog, and that's all right. I went to dinner with my family last night and had a bison burger, which was really good. Had this sort of like garlic sauce for the fries, really good. Incredible dessert. It was a brownie in a skillet with ice cream on it. And so just the brownie was like stayed continually hot throughout the dessert. And it was just melty and hot. It was good. Watching the cooking channel. Yeah, I went for a run today and just incredible. Been for a jog the last 3 days, three days in a row. So I'm just like, man, that's what I was not doing in life, you know. My song "Take It All Back" dropped. It's country pop. It's rock, country rock. So it's on all streaming platforms. And that's a song that's kind of, you know, I wrote that song over, 10 years ago. And then recorded an acoustic version with my buddy Drew in Claremont. And that was probably 7 years ago. And it sounds good, and then I kind of added a second, or I did. I added a second verse in Portland, and sort of, because before the verses just repeated themselves. So I changed some lyrics. For the chorus. Changed some of the lyrics in the chorus, and then added another verse. And drop the song. So I want to get into, eating well is, one of the things we could actually control in life. And taking a step back from, influencers, it seems like they're always traveling and doing things, but that's not always a positive. Meaning, I think a lot of times they always feel like they have to travel around. I think some of it's fear-based, because they kind of feel like they're not grounded in life. They don't have, an actual career. They don't have a job. So they feel kind of, I don't want to say they feel like people are after them, but it's kind of like the same as like maybe a drug dealer or someone that's a professional gambler. They're always like on the go. They always want to keep traveling because they feel like they haven't really landed. They haven't really landed in their life calling. Oh, cool. That's so rad. My homeboy hit me up. Man, that's awesome. So seems like I'm contacting a lot of friends that I was hanging out with 10 years ago, in my late 20s. And, I went to Portland for 5 years, and Portland was cool, but it seemed like all I did in Portland was work and eat at restaurants. That's all I did, was work 70 hours a week and ate at really nice restaurants. Ginger, it's the wind. Good job alerting, the household, but it's the wind. I know the wind is crazy right now, girl. I know it's crazy. So, having your own apartment, I think, is overrated. Um, I think if I had my own apartment when I was 22, I probably would have experienced it more appropriately, because, but it wasn't really. I mean, I think a lot of people in their early 20s and teenagers, they think, oh, I just want my own apartment. But, I don't know. I prefer living with family and being around friends and family. But there is advantages to having your own place. Like, you could walk around naked. You don't have to deal with anyone's bullshit in the kitchen. You could leave dishes out. You could clean dishes. You could literally just turn your phone off and lock your door. And if you have enough food and you have your electricity on, and your cell phone's paid, you could stay in there for fucking weeks and like tune out the world. So there is some stuff you could do. But again, Portland, it seemed like all I did in Portland was just work, pay bills, and eat at restaurants. There wasn't a lot of socializing. Um, anyways, I've just been being contacted by a lot of friends from Orange County, and just people I haven't really hung out with in a while, and it's pretty cool. I miss doing kickboxing, doing Thai workouts. I feel like doing extreme workouts just provides a lot of serenity, mental health, physical health. It's kind of is spiritual. You feel like, if you work out hard enough, all of a sudden you don't care about just random shit. You don't care about religion and trying to worry about making a bunch of money or any kind of drama. All the kind of drama traps that we have on mainstream news and stuff, like all that kind of just goes out the window when you're really putting in 3-hour workouts that are extreme. You just you don't care if that chick hits you up, or you don't care if your job doesn't work out. You don't care about like all that the outside stuff, because you hit such a good workout. You're like, fuck, dude, I worked out so hard today that I don't really give a fuck about all this shit. And I think that's an incredible advantage for people that work out regularly, especially with I don't know, going. Damn, it's bright in here. Going to the gym. Yeah, going to the gym, I guess, is great, but going and lifting weights for an hour, that doesn't get me to that mindset that I'm talking about. Where you're not falling in the drama traps. You don't give a fuck. Basically, you just feel so great. Yeah, going to the gym and lifting weights, that doesn't get me to that mindset. I have to do a rigorous Thai kickboxing workout. I mean, like full fighting, sparring, bag workout, running, jogging, conditioning. I mean, I have to put in an intense workout, and then I notice the rest of the day I just have this just that's the feeling I got, just and it's obviously really great for your testosterone. It's great for your mental focus. So anyways, I've been running the last 3 days, and I've kind of getting a little bit of a glimpse of what the rewards I used to get when I was, can't even fucking talk. The rewards I used to get when I used to do kickboxing. Cutting out refined sugar. You want to be well, Cut out all processed sugar, all of it. Check labels. Get Mexican sodas, get jarritos, get the Mexican soda. Cut out all processed refined sugar for 3 months, and you will be way less bloated. You have way more mental clarity and way more energy. You will sleep better. And also work out, start jogging and cut out all refined and processed sugar. And that will make you feel so much better. All those little decisions add up. Oh, fuck it, I'll go to McDonald's. It's right here. I just want to be full. I'm gonna get the double cheeseburger. I just want to be full. I don't really care how I feel the next day. Oh, I'm upset. I feel not good enough or lonely or something. So I'm gonna go drink. I'm gonna go, drink 5 or 6 drinks at the bar, spend $60, and then just kind of, none of that stuff is gonna make you feel better in the long run. In the long run. So my 6-song EP called 5 is dropping on June 6th. Next month. It's available for pre-order, and I'm going to put the link up on my Instagram in the bio probably tonight or tomorrow. It has songs like Inside and Out. It has the revised version of Rocking Out, the revised mastered version of We Got Along But Not For Long. It has the updated version of The Time of Flowers, where The Time of Flowers now has like keys, it has more lyrics, it's more of an actual song, instead of just a song that you would just kind of cruise to. So it's a 6-song EP. Breakfast Without the Beatles is on it. That's the only song out of the 6 songs on 5. Breakfast Without the Beatles is the only song where I listen to it and I'm like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, oh, I should have changed that, So I don't know if that's the last of that song. I might be working on that song in the future. And I'm also working on a blues song right now, and it's just 2 guitar tracks, and I kind of played around putting drums to it, but it never really sounded natural, because I'm playing drums on my keyboard, just with the little square pads, just kick drum, snare, ride, and it just, with this song I would need a real drummer, or I would have to get on a real drum set to play to this song, and I would have to play it in live time, because the thing about this song is it has, it's bluegrass with a jazz rhythm to it. So it's very, very jazzy with the rhythm, and it's doesn't matter how I program drums or choose drum tracks for it, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound right. And then when I just listen to the guitars, it sounds good. So I'm thinking about, this song is just going to be guitar and vocals. It's not going to have bass and drums. So it's going to be old school sounding, the vibe of that song is going to be like if you were at some jazz lounge, or you were kicking it back in, the 1950s in the South or something, and someone just, couple dudes just picked up a guitar, just started playing guitar, and someone started singing, it's going to have that very live coffee shop sound to it. So that's kind of what I've been working on right now. And then obviously Take It All Back. I already dropped take it all back. But that song also, I think, is going to be revised and put on an album later this year. I'm thinking about doing a 3-song country rock album. So kind of a lot going on right now. I have a lot of projects, and then I have at least 3 other songs. Like I have this 80s new wave sounding song, and I have a couple other songs that are on the back burner where I don't really, it's kind of like slowly working on them. So I'm working on 4 songs right now. I have 4 songs I'm working on, but there's no real, I don't have any place for them yet. But I do have a lot of projects I'm working on this year. And I do want to get into, making music videos, actual real music videos. I don't care if it looks cheesy as fuck and super B-rated and low budget. I would rather do a real video than having an AI video where it's like ridiculous, because I know everybody wants to be their own little celebrity and stuff, but I'm actually a real songwriter. I'm a real musician, and I come from a totally different generation. So really my end game and my goal isn't just to be this super popular person with a bunch of subscribers and a bunch of followers, because I don't see any kind of happiness in that. Going back to the influencers, it seems like they're always, you're kind of held hostage to the group conscious when you feel like you have to travel all the time. And when the whole point of traveling is to post some pictures to make a bunch of people you don't know think you're amazing, it just seems like an empty existence. And there's always that kind of hype to it where they're like, oh, I'm going here. It's like nobody fucking really cares except maybe like 50 or 60, like 18-year-olds that follow you. It's not, people traveled a lot before social platforms, and it was more authentic, it was more intimate, and it was more of an experience. I traveled a lot before social platforms. I lived in Chicago. I lived in South Korea. I've been to London a few times. I've been to Mexico a few times. I've been to all the states, and it seemed like back in the day before social platforms, when you traveled, you felt like you were in a movie, and it was like a different type of experience. Where now, I went to Tucson. I know that's not so great, but I went to Tucson like 3 months ago, and yeah, you're like, okay, I'm gonna take some pictures on the golf course. I'm gonna go hike up to this waterfall and take a picture. That's kind of like what's on your mind, is I'm gonna go to the waterfall and take some fucking pictures and post it. That's kind of the focus, is going somewhere to take pictures to post it. And it just seems weird. It seems different. So when Ginge, she does not like the wind. She's like ready to fuck some shit up, and it's like the wind, it's sorry, there's nothing to get. So I don't know. I feel like I could go live on YouTube and talk shit on content creators a couple times a week. There's just so much to cover. Sorry. Yeah, I remember even back in the day, sort of when everybody had a cell phone and you could take pictures, and I would say about half of the people were on Facebook. If you went to a bar and you started taking pictures of people with your phone, nobody did that. That was considered so inappropriate. And now you could be at a bar or restaurant, somebody could be staring at their phone and just fucking blogging, taking pictures, filming everybody. Last night my family went out to dinner and we took probably 50 pictures in the first 5 minutes. We looked like tourists. I'm like, this is embarrassing. We're like taking pictures of everything, everybody. And back in the day, that would be so like weird, you know, and it's just so normal now. Um, Sometimes I kind of wish that the concerts I was playing when I was 22. I mean, we did film some of those concerts, but we had our kind of, you could say, producer. You know, he had the big camera. You know, it wasn't with the cell phone, so we filmed things, but and it was more to film the concert and but I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and talk about health and fitness, and how important it is to me. Um, it's really important. I'm a quadruple Taurus, and working out is crucial for me. And I'm not just saying like going to the gym and lifting weights for an hour or doing some fucking yoga. I have to do full combat Muay Thai kickboxing for 3 hours every other day to feel fucking mentally stable. And I thought that would kind of die out having to do that because I did that in my late 20s, you know. But I think that's something I've been missing the last, 5, 6 years. And in Portland, I worked out, but not really. I would go for a jog every now and then I had two 10-pound dumbbells in my room. I mean, how you could do a lot with lightweight dumbbells. I mean, there's such a variety of working out you could do, and I did some stretching, but I haven't really been exercising how I should be. I'm thinking about going vegan. You know, I am. And it is for the animals. You know, not only is it for my personal health, but, living in farmland, it's just sad. You know, I drove by a bison the other day, and there's this huge bison, and he was looking at some cows on the other side of the street. He looked very grumpy. He was a gigantic bison, and he looked old and grumpy. But still, I drove past him, and I kind of looked in the back mirror, and he was looking right at my truck, and we kind of had a moment, where it was an open road, there was no cars around, and I was kind of, looking at this bison through my mirror, and we looked at each other for about 3 or 4 seconds, and there's this moment. And then when I went to dinner last night, I ordered a bison burger, and it was good. It was a good burger, but it wasn't that fucking good. Not enough to pay, it's expensive. It's not, I don't know. I don't think it's good to eat land animals anyways. I think I'm going to go to chicken and fish. It's more of like it's my own personal conscience I'm dealing with. So I look at it like if I wouldn't kill it, I shouldn't eat it. And I would not fucking kill a cow, a bison, or a pig. I wouldn't. I would. What the fuck? How and why would I kill a cow, pig, or bison? I would not want to do that. Now, a chicken, maybe I would kill a chicken. I'm being realistic. Probably would kill a chicken, and I would kill a fish. I've killed a live fish before with fishing. So I'm starting there. Kind of trying to live like how the natives live, the Indians live. You only eat what you kill. And then for so many years, hey baby, we've been bonding so much lately. She is like my little partner. For so many years in the Middle East and Europe, people only ate meat maybe 5 or 6 times a year, on a feast day, Christmas, a wedding, special occasions, birthday. I mean, to slaughter a calf or a pig and to have a bunch of meat, that was considered a special occasion. And so it was more meaningful, meaning that it wasn't like, it was almost like the animal was sacrificed for the event in a way. And even in Asian countries, like they have little bits of meat, with their meal. It was considered a privilege. So to just sit around and eat huge amounts of carcass every day, it just seems fucking wrong on so many different levels. Um, when the Indians killed a bison, that would feed the whole village for probably a long time. And again, they probably ate the meat in a specific way and probably made it go really far. I mean, you don't need to eat that much to be nourished. The portions are ridiculous in America, and now we're backpedaling and we're trying to figure out how to, kill the parasites and gut health and just it's like basically everyone's fucked up, and now there's this whole industry about how to get well again. And that's kind of like how America works is, it's overindulgence. You get super sick. You don't exercise. You eat horrible. You eat crap that's not even food. It's not good for you. You eat meat that's not kosher. And now you have to spend all this money getting well again. It's spiritual, it's a spiritual malady. Technically, I could have, the spinach balls that I made in the beginning of the video. I could have 3 or 4 of those for the first part of the day. And the second part of the day, I could do rice, vegetables, salt, pepper, butter for dinner, and not even a huge portion. And work out a bunch, because when you work out a bunch, you don't need to eat as much. I mean, that's all I really need, and so I'm trying to get on that path of eating smaller portions, rarely having meat, and when I do have meat, have it be, fish, and then maybe sometimes chicken. Like if I'm out at a restaurant, it's like you can't. I'll just have spinach, So I'll order something with chicken in it, or like salmon or something, if it's a special occasion or if I'm out somewhere. And we have so much ribeye in this house, and that's what I think we're gonna have tomorrow for Mother's Day. Is I'm gonna make ribeye, and we just had ribeye for my birthday. Was it like a week or 2 ago? Huge ribeye steaks, and I made them so good, and I cooked them perfectly, and that was good. But to have another huge ribeye a couple weeks later, it just feels like not spiritual or something. I don't know. So I think I'm going to be moving into the country rock direction. I think I'm going to just kind of do country, blues, bluegrass kind of stuff. Something with some positive vibes, positive substance. Not even positive, but just real, organic. Being authentic is like the new fingerprint to art, meaning it's just being like amazing doesn't mean anything, because just you could program an amazing movie with AI, you could program perfect sounding music with AI, content, whatever. So just it's not art, so now, especially when I'm recording music and stuff, and if something is off or there's a mistake, sometimes I just fucking leave it. Gives it character, and it's not AI. I think being famous or an influencer, careful what you wish for. I think stepping out of that world would be the best. Sometimes you hear people that were influencers and they decided to live a monastic life, or I don't know, it's just the narrative. Basically, you create a narrative for yourself, and then it's kind of like stuck in the fabric of Hey, what's up? Hi, Ashley. I'm getting all these texts right now. Yeah, you just get stuck in this. I mean, David Bowie. I love David Bowie. He's one of my favorite artists. I respect him so much as a musician, an artist, a person. He's an awesome person. He's always been an icon, he's been one of my, my influences. And so, but still, there's David Bowie accounts, and it's almost like he's like, all these musicians, they're like stuck or something. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I think I'd rather be an actor, is what I'm trying to say. I think I'd rather be an actor than a famous musician. Because when you're an actor, you're part of something bigger than yourself. So you're part of a story. It's a theatrical way to tell a story. So, and there's thousands of people involved in a movie. So there's thousands of people involved, even if you're one of the main characters. There's so many people involved. It's a story. You're creating a visual story, and soundtrack's half the movie. So you do that movie, and then it's not who you are. You're done with that, and you created something, and it's the movie that goes through the time. The movie itself is the movie. And I think I would rather that than, being, Elvis Presley, Elvis Presley, I mean, he didn't even write any of his songs. He was, it's a persona, people create this narrative, this persona, and it's just, Marilyn Monroe. Her real name's Norma Jean. It's always Marilyn Monroe, I just don't think it's worth it, being an influencer. Ginger, what? Move. She sees the wind chime. She hears the wind, sees the wind chime. Okay, Ginger, it's just the wind. She's staring right at the window. She's like, I know, I'll fucking see it. And Gingy. Just the wind. I mean, being an influencer, I mean, I'm blogging right now. Even Jay Dyer, who's been fucking killing it lately. Um, you know, even if you just do funny, relatable content, like, oh, that's so funny, that's so relatable. You know, just having your stupid shit stuck up there forever. It just, I don't know if that's a really good thing. Or when you're an actor, you know, it's a movie. You know, it's the work that's up there, the film. And being an influencer, it's just, I mean, eventually it'll just all be, there'll be so much fucking content out there that nobody really gives a shit, anyways. Yeah, I was saying it earlier in this live today. I just don't want to do fucking shit today. Pardon my French. I don't want to do anything. You know, I went for a jog, and I think that's it. You know, I don't want to work on music. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. I could easily see myself completely discontinue all YouTube and social platforms easily. I could easily do that and just abandon the accounts. Absolutely. I'm probably going to do that pretty shortly, actually. Because all I like YouTube for is I like just to go live and talk about how dumb influencers are. I mean, that's all I basically do on YouTube, and then post Ginger. She's adorable. I do like to post her. I mean, she's just a sweetheart, you know. Anyway, I do have some traveling I'm going to do this year, so that'll be something to look forward to. So my song "Take It All Back," buy it, stream it. If you can't buy it, stream it. If you could buy it, even better. It's a country rock song. It's called "Take It All Back." It's on Spotify, YouTube. You can buy it on Amazon Music. And then I have a 6-song EP dropping on June 6th next month. And you could purchase that. I'm going to put a link in the bio tomorrow. So on my Instagram, Trevor6Right, there'll be a link. And right now you can buy Dark Country. That's an album that I dropped a few months ago. So you can buy Dark Country, and then you could buy the 6-song EP, which is going to be, it's a really good EP. Just one good song after another. And that is available for purchase. You could buy that now if you want, but I will make it easier to buy it when I put the link up on my Instagram. And, you know, writing music is just something I do. I've been writing music for so long that even if I never made any money or played any big concerts, I would still probably write music because it's what I like to do. It's a craft, you know, it's just what I do. I write music. But hopefully, you know, I do start making enough money on streams and purchases where I could basically retire off my music. I think that's, you know, obviously everybody who publishes music is, you know, would like to get there. And I can't even really think of anything else I would be able to do consistently. Well, I feel like Ginger's sitting under the chair. She's so cute. She's just kind of looking at me. Oh my gosh, you gotta see this. Look at her. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. She's adorable. I just looked over and she's just got like her one big brown eye just looking at me. She probably wants to play fetch or something. So yeah, I am definitely going to just do some traveling. Not as an influencer, but I genuinely, I like to travel and I've done a lot of traveling. And I'm trying to set myself up financially where I could just basically buy a house in Europe. I know what country I want to live in. And then buy a house in Europe and then just basically travel. That's the goal. Because I'm not going to do this 9 to 5 hourly, working hourly somewhere, trying to pretend I fucking like everybody and trying to, always keep my job somehow, and I'm not playing this whole living, paying bills and working, and I'm not doing that whole horse and pony act. I won't do it. I literally, I won't do it. I'm a little bit of a gypsy, so I would, I would rather live a pious life with very little and have freedom living in a country I want to live in than try to work 12 hours a day at some corporate job just so I could, say, oh, I have this, and then be miserable and completely stressed out all the time. I don't think this is a safe country. If you live in America, I don't think this is a safe country at all. And you grow up saying, oh, this is a safe country and everywhere else in the world is dangerous. I think it's the opposite. I think this is a dangerous country, the way they're poisoning everybody's food. We have more people in prison in this country than all the other countries combined. Every state's a police state. It's an experiment. I always say that this living in America is like living in an experiment, and it's not a safe one. So I'm absolutely in the process of changing my citizenship. Obviously I have a passport. Because I think people in America, no offense, I think they're fucking insane. I literally do. I think they're insane, and especially in the work field. It's crazy. People are fucking crazy here. It's a whole culture. The workforce in America is this whole culture. Oh, don't get into politics, don't offend anybody, always be on time. It's just like all this shit you have to do just to keep your fucking job so you could give all your money away at every check and poison yourself. I'm not doing it. I won't fucking live that way. So anyways, I'm going to be traveling. So, I eventually will be putting up actual content, content where I edit it and, content. I might do 1 or 2 videos before I kind of, do something else. But anyways, it is Saturday, but I do have to run some errands. So you guys have a good one. Thank you for the streams and the purchase on the music. Believe me, I see the money come in. $5, $10, $27, and that is so greatly appreciated. I hope my music inspires people to really, get into life and outside of, the whole, the system and the curriculum of everything. I think that's what art is meant to do. But anyways, have a great one.